Hi guys, Robbo here again and welcome to the video. In this video I'm going to be talking about hints and tips to get you started in PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. The guide will be especially helpful if you're new to the game, but it might even help you if you've got a fair few hours in the game and just want to pick up other people's way of playing it. Just as a reminder though, this guide is primarily aimed towards those that have little to no experience, so feel free to skip each section using the times that I've put below. So, without further ado, let's get straight into it. Ever been on public transport with the drunk, a crying baby, someone snoring, couples arguing loudly, and a constant ringing in your ears from that chavs music that's far too loud, all at the same time? No? Neither have I. However, I imagine that it would be comparable to having to endure 60 seconds in an airplane with mics turned on. To shut that 12-year-old boy up that says he's fucked your mum, just hold control, press T, and enjoy the ride. When you do eventually jump, there are a few things to keep in mind. Number 1, as soon as you're in the plane, keep an eye on the map to see which direction you're travelling, and plan your landing accordingly. Number 2, when you've decided where to land, it's always a good idea, especially if you're new to the game, to land as far away as possible. No, that doesn't mean land in the middle of a forest, just land near a cluster of buildings and try to avoid the crowd to allow you that time to loot. It sounds obvious, but to go further in the air, aim towards your planned landing site and hold W. The further across the map you want to be, the higher up you need to aim. Number 3. When you've opened up the parachute, keep an eye on your surroundings. How many people are going the same direction? What building are they likely to land on? And how far away are you to them? Number 4. If all else fails, get into a building ASAP. Avoid rooftops and open spaces. Remember, you don't want to be seen early game. So you've enjoyed the pleasant ride, you've jumped out of the airplane, and now you've landed. Now, if you've jumped early enough, the game still hasn't decided where the circle will be placed, so take full advantage. Grab any loot you can find. You need to prioritise finding a weapon and then concentrate on finding backpacks and armour. It's no good grabbing yourself armour and backpacks if you haven't got a gun to fight off an impending enemy. To compare the gun you've found somewhere with whatever you have equipped now, simply hover your mouse over the weapon on the ground. The game will then bring up the box telling you what stats it has over your equipped weapon. If, like me, you want to loot everything in sight and occasionally forget that you've only got a level 1 backpack, you can easily make some room to pick whatever it is you want up without sacrificing a whole stack of whatever you drop. So simply highlight whatever it is you want to split and drop, hold Control and right click. This allows you to amend how much of a particular stack you want to drop. This is definitely helpful with ammunition if you're hoarding more than you need, or on the other hand, dropping your team a medkit in squad play without giving him all of them. Make full use of energy drinks and painkillers. These will give you a boost of health and running speed if you're trying to outrun the circle. I do need to stress though that even at maximum boost, you will still only just keep up with the circle. No matter how many boosts you take, you will not outrun it, so time it well. So, you've killed your first player, congrats. However, don't rush straight in to take the loot. You never know who heard the gunfire and is now watching that little crate. When you've watched it for a few seconds to see if anyone is going to steal the stuff, sprint in there if it is clear, and keep moving sideways when you're looting to avoid any other players taking aim on you. Avoid driving vehicles, especially late game. Occasionally you will see players who accelerate right through the middle of a town or into the white circle, wherever that is. The problem with this is that the engine sound sticks out like a sore thumb, and you can actually hear it from quite a distance. This draws unnecessary attention to you. Be patient. I can't stress this enough. If you see someone in the distance or a car driving past, unless you've got incredibly good aim, don't try and shoot them. Instead, wait until that car goes by or the person you're watching thinks they're alone, and then take your shot. On that note, if you are looking down a sight or a scope, and you just need that extra steadiness to ready your aim, hold down shift. This will make you hold your breath and make aiming a little bit easier. You'll also get a little bit extra zoom down the sight. If you don't know where you're being shot from, don't run in a straight line and hope that they slip up. Remember I said be aware of your surroundings? This applies for the whole game. Get behind a rock, a tree, or hide in a wheat field whilst prone until you figure out where you're being shot from. Again, continuing from that, with long grass and wheat you're relying on the enemy having a semi-decent computer. If they don't, and they have the settings turned down, it'll just look as though you're lying down on the ground without having any cover. Goes without saying, but unless your enemies have flash hiders, you will see their gunshots, if you're lucky, and if you're looking in the right direction. Although frowned upon, this is where third person view comes in handy. If you're in buildings or you can hear gunfire that's quite close, always switch to a shotgun if you've got one. Because of how compact Battlegrounds houses are, it's much more effective to shoot a 12 gauge slug at someone close range over blasting numerous rounds off from an AK with the potential load of spray that follows. Around halfway through the game, try and stick to the edge of the blue line whilst running towards the white line, if that makes sense. This will ensure that you avoid mass crowds and that you're able to pick your enemies off from the edge that you're running in. One last tip, unless you enjoy looking like someone out of East 17, then you will want to spend your points on reward crates to get better gear. And that last tip concludes the video. I hope you found it interesting. If you did like it, give me a like and subscribe for more videos. As I said in my last video, this is a brand new channel and I do rely on feedback, so post a comment below if you've got anything to add. Until next time guys, laters.